proceed with the meeting. This meeting has been designed for people who are our guests and want to know what kind of business we do. So without further ado, I would like to start the meeting. My name is Pascal Olo. I am a civil engineer. Betty and I have been living in South Africa for the last 30 years. And the reason we joined the business was very simple. We wanted to make an extra $200 a month. So that was really our goal. But after doing the business part-time for 7 months, equaled my salary as an engineer, and that's when I took the business seriously. We worked very hard for the next 2 years, and after 3 years of hard work, I left my employment because we were earning more money from this business than from my employment. So Betty and I are very thankful that we were introduced to this business. It's been an exciting journey. It's been also had its own challenges, but we thank God for where we have reached in this business. So before I explain what this business is to our guests, there are 4 ways that people use to generate income. The first is called a job. A job is when you work for somebody, and after 30 days, they pay you a salary. A job is good because it gives you a chance to earn money for your family, to put food on the table, to have a roof over your head. However, there are also drawbacks with a job. First is internal politics. There's a lot of politics in the workplace. Second is advance in technology. Because of artificial intelligence and computerization, employers have found very efficient ways to make products and services that with less people, they're able to produce more goods and services. So if you have a job, think again. The second way that people use to generate income is self-employment. Self-employment is when you borrow money, you start your own business, to provide a product or a service. It's good because you determine how hard and how long you work. The challenge with self-employment is the business tends to depend on your physical presence. If you want to test whether you own a business or not, go away from it for 60 days. If the business collapses, you don't own the business owns you. The third way that people use to generate income is big business. This is when you have lots of employees, and you also employ a lot of capital. You get a lot of money, you build equipment, machines to provide a product or service to the public in huge quantities. This way of making money is available to very, very few people who have access to a lot of capital and a lot of cash. The fourth way is investment. This is when you get money which is over and above what you need. You want to employ it or put it in an instrument or a business that gives you a return. 2 things are required: knowledge and skill of investment. So what most people do is that they get somebody who is experienced to do it on their behalf. The question is there an ideal business? Is there a business that any ordinary person from the streets, any person who has a dream, any person who is willing to work hard can actually start the business and create wealth for their families? I think it needs to have the following 7 criteria or 7 elements. 1, low capital to start the business. One of the biggest drawbacks or hindrances for people to start the business is capital. In our business, we need between $50 and $100 to start a global business, and this makes it within the reach of the ordinary person. The second is distribution. You need to get involved in distribution because the only way anybody gets a product or a service is through a distribution system. So if you get involved in distribution of products and services, that is how you create wealth. And that leads me to the third element. The more people you serve, the wealthier you become. You need to have a global reach. Our company does business in over 50 countries around the world. In Africa, we do business in 14 countries. And this is because there are very many people around Africa or around the world who need fantastic product that our company provides. The fourth element is leverage. Leverage simply means you find a way to multiply your time and your effort through cooperating with others. You see, you and I have 24 hours a day. The only way we can increase our income is to cooperate with others so that the business we do increases the number of hours that is worked. That is what leverage is. The banks know this, that's why they open branches. Retail stores, they knows this, that's why they open other retail stores. The fifth element is you need to get involved with high consumable products. Why? Because consumable products have a repeat sale. And if they have high quality, your customers keep buying month in and month out. An example is soap or skincare products. The sixth element is you need a business system, which means a series of tools, procedures, and equipment that you implement in your business so that your business grows or functions with or without you. A system is a series of tools, procedures, equipment, everything you need to run your business. And the last one is timing. Timing is very important because if you start the business at the wrong time, either it's too early or it's too late on the market curve. Now, what is network marketing? Network marketing is a very efficient system of distribution of goods and services. What does it do? How does it work? You take a product from the manufacturer to the consumer, but only through one middle person. In traditional business, if you take a product from a manufacturer to a consumer, you pass through several middlemen: advertising, retailers, wholesalers, transport, middlemen who keep adding to the cost of the product without adding any value to the product. So if you remove all these middlemen, the money which is available is what is paid to distributors like ourselves. So there are no wholesalers or retailers, no advertising. Products are explained to customers in person. So we are paid for referring customers to the company. That is really the essence of the business. But a very important or a very exciting thing is this. Although you're in your own business, you're not by yourself. What do I mean by that? If you think about starting a business and bringing it to the marketplace, you have to design the product, you have to manufacture the products, you have to get raw materials, do quality control, package the products, register the products in different markets, put infrastructure where these products will be sold. That's the only time you can take the product to the marketplace. This has already been done for you. Your job is to make sure customers have access to these products. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. There are no qualifications required except three things. One, the desire for success. Two is teachability. And three, just sheer hard work. Neolife started in 1958. It was started by Jerry Brassfield. As a teenager, Jerry Brassfield had a very serious asthma. And when his mother gave him natural remedies, he felt much better. And he thought that I think most people suffer from health challenges because of poor nutrition. That's how the dream of Neolife started. Now, 67 years later, Neolife operates in over 50 countries. But what has kept our business going for all these years? One, we call them the corporate principles, and there are five. The first one is absolute honesty and integrity. We need to tell our customers the truth about our business and about our products. And that's the only reason our customers develop confidence and trust in our products. Number two, people are number one. The most important resource we have in our business is people. Even if you have first-class products, even if you have good facilities, if you don't have people, we have nothing. We have no business. The third one is products that work. Neolife has put together a group of scientists whose job is just to research and develop first-class products. A group of scientists called the Scientific Advisory Board. And the reason why this is important is because our type of business, we deal with person to person in terms of explaining the products to people. And this makes it a need that our products have to be very, very high quality so that the customers can keep buying more and more. The fourth element is equal opportunity for everybody. Everybody in this business starts at the same level, man or woman, old or young, 18 or 81, a doctor, an engineer, a plumber. Anybody who is serious can become successful in our business. And the last element is long-range vision. You need to have a long-range vision. It means that when you start the business, initially, give you a 2 to 5 year horizon. After that, evaluate your business again. I mean, we've got people in our business who have been doing the business for 50 years, some 40, some 30, some 20, some 10. Some joined the business this week, some joined last week. You need to have a long-range vision to have a successful business. Neolife started in 1958 in the USA, came to South Africa in 1971. 96, 97, it went to Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. 99 of the year 2000, it went to West Africa. If you're a guest, this business has come to your doorstep today. Now, these are the countries where Neolife does business in Africa. West Africa, from Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Cameroon, to Southern Africa, Namibia, Eswatini, Botswana, Swaziland, Mozambique, and then East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. These are the countries where Neolife does business in Africa. But Neolife also does business in the Americas, in Europe, and in Asia. These are the areas or the continents that Neolife does business. So we've got a global footprint. Now, why do people start this business? People start for so many different reasons. Some because they're tired of their jobs, some because they want extra money, some because they want a good life for their families, some because they want to have good homes, some because they want to buy good cars. Some want to start the business because they want to go for holidays, to earn extra money, to be physically fit. So everybody has got their own reasons for starting the business. If you're a guest, what would be a reason for starting the business? So you're going to partner with a company who has got more than 60 years experience, operating in over 50 countries around the world, and is supported by the Scientific Advisory Board. This is a group of high-level scientists in different fields, especially nutrition, biochemistry, manufacturing, to make sure our products are simply the best. Then we have 4 ranges of products. What are these ranges? The first is called the Golden Home Care range. Products for cleaning your bathroom, your kitchen, your toilet, your carpet, anything in your home that requires cleaning, we've got the products for you. The second is the personal care range of products. These are things like hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hand and body lotion, and the rest. The third is the nutrients. Nutrients are the skincare range of products. The largest organ in your body is your skin. So it makes sense to take good care of it. And the other range, which is the highest selling range, it generates the largest volume in our business, is the healthcare supplements. The health products are there because your greatest wealth is your health. We've got another product, although it falls under the category of the Golden Home, it is specifically for farmers. It helps farmers and people who like plants and things for growing. It's called Supergrow. It's a wonder drop. Supergrow helps farmers to increase their yield. It helps crops absorb nutrients efficiently. It's very economical. You mix it 1 to 1,000 with water. It is safe and easy to use, non-toxic, non-caustic, and it's a multi-purpose both for indoor and outdoor plants. How does the business work? The business works when you do 3 things every day, called the 3 daily success habits. And what are those? Number 1 is use the products. The first thing we do in our business is we use the products. Why is that important? Because we are supporting our own business. Number 2, we want the people we speak to know that we also believe in what we recommend. Now, because Neolife operates in different countries around the world, we use what we call the PV system, 100 PV. Now, 100 PV is roughly equivalent to $160. The second thing we do is we share the business opportunity. That means we introduce other people to be users and the promoters of products. In this example, you introduce 6 people plus yourself. You've generated a volume of 700 PV. You become a manager and your income is about $45 a month. The second thing you do is you teach the people you brought in to actually also promote to their friends and relatives. In this example, the person on the top right corner introduces two, and those other two introduce two. They've generated a 700 PV unit plus the other six, gives you 1,300, and your income is about $90 a month. It looks a little money, but it's very exciting because it shows the system works. I mean, you wouldn't just open your door and you find $90 on your doorstep. Then you begin to duplicate the process. That simply means you begin to teach these people to do what you've done. They also introduce and build their own teams who are using products. 6 times 700 gives you 4,200 plus 100 is 4,300 PV. Your income is about $580 to $700, a director in the business. What is the next thing? Not everybody is going to be excited about being a business builder or a promoter of the products. These are your customers, and you make a net profit of 20%. The third thing you do every day is personal development. Simply means that you take time to learn through the training system, to learn about the products, about the business, about the compensation plan, how to be a leader, how to help people grow their businesses. If you want to earn more money in this business, just help one more person become successful in the business. If you help one more person, you become a software director and your income is about $1,000. If you help 3 people become directors, your income is about $2,000. If you help 6 people become directors, your income is about $5,000 a month. So at this juncture, I want to invite our guest. Our initial guest could not make it because she was traveling, and I think there's some serious traffic problems. So at this juncture, I want to invite our guest to share with us his story. Fred Gichuki. Fred is some of those of you who are guests, I think you would like this story. But those of you who are distributors, I'm sure you will also like the story of this. Okay, I was about to call him a young gentleman because he's got a very youthful spirit, and I think he gives a lot of hope to the people in Kenya or in East Africa about the way he conducts his business. Fred, thank you very much, and I really appreciate giving us your story on a very short notice.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Pascal. Thank you for always being there for us. We don't take it for granted that you organize this meeting every Monday and Thursday. That is quite amazing, with consistency, persistence, and that's just amazing. My name is Fred Gichuki. Fred joined this business a long time ago. I joined when I was a young man. I was working in the hotel industry. I'd done what my parents told me to do. I'd gone to school, I'd studied hard, got good grades, and I graduated from the Technical University. Now it's called Technical University of East Africa. And I graduated as a hotel manager. So I thought, since I've graduated as a hotel manager, automatically I should be one. But then I met what we call harsh reality, because when I went to the job market, I found that it was not automatic that you'll get the job even if you have the papers. I didn't have the ability to network. That is, I didn't know the right people, the powers that be. And for some reason, my dad also was not able to sort me out on that. I saw many of my friends, especially those who are not serious in class, get very good jobs because their dads were well connected. And I got quite disillusioned about the corporate world. However, I found myself working as a cook to start with, earning about 4,000. Went on to become a waiter, earning 8,000. Then found myself working as a receptionist, earning 10K. And that's when this opportunity found me. You can imagine the state of my mind at that point. Here I am working earning 10,000 shillings, working 18 hours a day. And my colleagues are driving company cars and living large, according to me, because many of them had very nice. And this gentleman found me working there, and he asked me a very simple question. Fred, would you like to make some money on basis? That question changed my life. And I mean, the answer was yes. I mean, I told him, sign me up. I when you have big dreams and you're not getting any fulfillment, you can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And somebody comes and tells you there's something you can do part-time, an hour, 2 hours a day, and you can earn an extra 30,000 shillings. That time I was earning 10,000 shillings per month. That was to be 3 times my pay. I said, sign me up. I want it. The day he presented is the day I joined. I paid a deposit, went and borrowed the difference, got started. Now, what have I gotten from this business? Plenty. The first thing that I can say I got from this business was personal growth development. You see, when you join the way you are, with a different background, you might be a professional, you might be in a different field of life, but Neolife is a school of success. It trains you on the basics of succeeding in life. And for you to succeed in Neolife, you have to grow as a person. I remember my sponsor left me with a book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And it was only after I read that book and I started applying the principles in that book that my business took off. And I became very confident. By the time I joined this business, I was just a young man in my 20s. I wasn't too confident about life. I was shy. I couldn't talk to people. I would try to open my mouth and my mouth would dry up. And I read the book. I started listening to some tapes. There are some tapes that he gave me. They were part of the kit. I remember one tape was saying even a dead fish floats downstream, that even if you just stay there, you'll go downstream, but downstream is not good. And I started listening to these tapes. Your attitude determines your altitude. Health is your greatest wealth. 90% why, 10% how. And they grew me as a person. They developed me from just a normal receptionist to a leader, a person who was becoming a leader day by day. And I grew my business. My first check was 300 shillings, went on to grow in about 7 months, got to 30,000, became a director. That was exciting. And I'll tell you one thing, you cannot be a director if you're the same person who joined this business. You have to grow. And for the distributors on the call, your personal growth journey is very, very integral and very, very key. If you're going to grow and become successful in this business, you have to voluntarily start reading the positive books. The kit has some very good books which are suggested in the Getting Started brochure in the kit. There is a list of books there that you need to go through. Nowadays, you're lucky, you can get them online. You can go to YouTube and get to listen to some of these books. The audiobooks are just freely available. But you need that information and you need to take advantage and take action from what you learn. I did exactly that. I became a director, and coincidentally, because of applying the principles in The Magic of Thinking Big, an opportunity arose at my place of work for a night manager. And this person was to be number 3 to the boss, to the GM. And I was very excited about it. I applied and people told me, Fred, you cannot get that position. This company does not employ within, it employs from without. And because of the confidence I had gotten from my personal growth journey, I applied for that position. And believe it or not, my general manager actually recommended that I get the position because he had seen the growth, he had seen the change that had become of me. He had seen the leadership. By the way, he knew that I was already doing business part-time because it so happened that time we had to do orders to South Africa and the orders would be processed and then a fax would be sent. Pascal remembers this. And I didn't have a fax machine. So my general manager allowed me to be using his fax machine. Can you imagine? So he used to call me and say, Fred, your faxes are too many. My paper is finished. Can you go to the store and bring more paper? And he would always joke, one day I'll give you a bill for all these fax papers that I print for you. Now you can imagine you're employed and the GM, the general manager, allows you to use his fax machine to get your faxes from South Africa. And he knows their orders, he knows it is business that you're doing on the side. And because he has seen the kind of person, the way you have transformed. But I'd also read another book called How to Win Friends and Influence People to Your Way of Thinking. And I had realized that this gentleman was very lonely. So I made him my friend. And he used to enjoy coming. He would come and talk to me for hours. The secretary would be calling him and say, "Oh, just tell those people to wait." He had to finish his story with me before going to the office. And that is what can happen to you in your life. Even before we talk about the money, the growth that happens, the person that you become is just, you cannot put money to this. I've mentored so many young people in your life, and they apply these principles to whatever else they are doing other than your life. And they grow, they develop, they become leaders, they get promotions. I know several who have started enterprises which are thriving, driving big cars because of the knowledge and the soft skills they learned from your life. So even before we talk about the money, the personal growth is invaluable. And I can tell you, I got a promotion courtesy of Neolife. My pay was tripled at my place of work, but my business was also growing. By that time, I was already a world team member. I was already in the six-figure income. By the time they started paying me 30,000 shillings at my place of work, I was already earning more than 3-4 times what they were paying me. And that is when I decided now I need to leave this employment and give it to somebody else. And create some employment by going to do other things. And by then, I'd already bought my first car, which was a Toyota 100. Very exciting car. I really enjoyed that car. And I remember my first trip to South Africa. You see, the beauty about this company is that once you become a world team member, and to become a world team member is very simple. Become a director, then develop other people to become directors. So you start earning 50, 60, 80, 100,000 shillings, then help other people to earn the same. And then you become a world team member. And I think that is fantastic, that you grow and develop by helping other people earn money, not working all over people, but helping other people earn money. Then your income increases and you start getting the perks of traveling and that kind of thing. So I got my first trip to South Africa as a world team member. I remember there was an incentive where you would get 100,000 shillings pocket money and get paid a ticket and everything fully paid for. I remember we traveled with Anyang and Kiraitu. Incidentally, I found them in this business and they're still there to date. And I said to myself, if these guys are doing this business, who needs to do it more? I mean, these are the rich and famous that I've always seen them on TV in one position or another in government. Governor, I don't know what, and they're doing Neolife. I said, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life. So after going to South Africa, coming back, I think we had some other few trips, Mauritius, Mexico. Then I quit employment. I decided I'd had it, and I wrote my resignation letter and left. And I can tell you one thing, Neolife gives you freedom. It gives you choices. You see, imagine if you're employed today and you start doing this business part-time, and let's say in 7, 8, 12 months, 10 months, 2 years, whatever amount of time it takes you to do it, depending on how hard you work, you earn the same amount of money as what your boss is paying you. Now you have a choice. Even if he threatens you and tells you he's going to sack you, you're not so worried because you have an income, a side hustle. And during COVID-19, you remember what happened. Those people who had side hustles were cushioned because most places were shut down. So it's important to have a side hustle, a side income. And Neolife gives you exactly that opportunity. So I've been abroad severally. I've been to America twice. I've been to Mexico, Mauritius, South Africa, about 10 times. I'm looking forward to go to South Africa again in May this year. We are traveling back to Cape Town. So traveling is not really a big deal today, whereas it was such a big deal when I started. My first plane ride, I didn't sleep that night. I stayed awake till morning. I didn't want to risk it and sleep and wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning. So I stayed awake. I didn't want to risk. I go to the airport at 3 a.m. and we were supposed to check in at 5. So, but now traveling has become a normal thing, and just shows you that life can actually change. What have I gotten from this business? I am married, courtesy of this business. Met a young lady. She became a customer of mine. I was selling her TNN, a carotenoid complex, and she used the products, and I promoted her from a customer to my wife. And today we have 4 beautiful girls with us, and I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting what can happen. What other benefits have I gotten? Now, the other benefits I've gotten is that I became a property owner at a very early age in Neolife. I was already owning properties. I'm a landlord courtesy of Neolife. So life can change. Life can change with Neolife. The other benefit is that I've been able to empower other people. You know, like I said earlier, duplication is key, and making a positive difference in people's lives. I read something. I think it's somebody called, I forget his name. I think it's Jim Rohn, who says that if you want to be rich, just help enough other people pay their bills and your bills disappear. Just help enough other people pay their bills and your bills will disappear. Now, you need to find an opportunity that you can use to help other people pay their bills. And Neolife gives you such an opportunity where you don't have to pay a lot of overheads, you don't have to pay salaries, you don't have to have a huge inventory. All you need to do is have share an idea with as many people as possible and allow these people to take it, run with it, and you will find that they will become successful. As they become successful, you also become successful. So this is the most ideal business that you can ever do. How does the future look like? Let me tell you, the future is so bright. We have not started in Kenya. This is the time we are starting the business in Kenya. It's very, very exciting. Business is growing like crazy. I tell you, if you're not part of this wave, you are going to miss out. You just need to get in, get started. And I tell you, the future with Neolife is only getting better and better and better. To the distributors, I want to tell you, hang in there, keep doing what you're doing. The next person you're going to talk to is a person that is going to change your business forever. In this business, you can talk to one person and it transforms your business in such a big way that you say, wow, you wonder what was happening. And I always say this, I liken this business to pushing a wheel over a hill. When you're pushing a wheel over a hill, when you're pushing uphill, it's tough. The weight of the wheel is on you and you have to push it. If it stops, it starts pushing you backwards. And you push it until you get to the crest of the hill. Once you go over the crest of the hill, the wheel now starts running down because of gravity. Now you have to chase the wheel trying to catch it. And that is what happens in this business. When you start, you're pushing the wheel, you push it. But the moment you crest over, the moment you become a director, then now you start chasing your business as a team runs and everybody wants to achieve their dreams. And I tell you, be patient, be persistent, and you'll make it. For the guests, don't consult anybody out there about this opportunity. When I joined, many of my friends, my relatives discouraged me, told me I could not make it. If I had listened to them, I would not be seated here and I would not have gotten what I've gotten. So don't consult too much. There are some decisions you have to make for yourself, and this is one of them. The other decision is who you marry, and you're the only one who decides whether to do your press-ups or not. These are decisions that you have to make for yourself and make it. I always say this: to be successful, you have to be a bit stubborn. You have to be a bit stubborn. So long as it is honest, it is legal, it is morally upright, go for it. Try it out. Put your all in it. You've seen one person who is doing it, you can be the second. That is the way I reasoned, and that is the way I joined. When I joined, there was nobody making money in Kenya. I was just shown lifestyle magazines of people who are successful, and I said, I saw an African, most of them were Europeans, so I saw a picture of an African, and I said, if there's one African who is making money, I can be the second one. So get started. The future is bright with Neolife. Thank you so much. God bless you, and back to you, Pascal.
Fred, thank you very much for your testimony. Always when I hear your testimony, I hear something new that I didn't pick up the last time. Maybe I had it. Now that you mentioned you have 4 girls, we have 4 boys, but one of them is married already. Fred, thank you so much for your testimony. I really appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Fred made a decision out of faith. The company was not even in Kenya yet when he made the decision to start the business. So it takes courage, it takes faith to become successful. One of the things that the company has done to make the business really grow in different locations is take advantage of technology. In this business, if you want to order products, you can order them online. If you register new people, you can do it online. The moment you register with the company, you have what is called a back office. You can manage and monitor your business 24/7. I mean, you can check anytime, any day how your business is doing. Training is done locally and internationally by online services. I was checking the screen while Fred was giving his fantastic story. We've got people from East Africa, West Africa, Southern Africa attending this meeting today. And then delivery of products. Each market the company is doing business, they contract local courier companies to deliver products to our customers and distributors. Payment, either payment for the products or payment of bonuses to different distributors, is done by EFT or mobile money. One of the things we do in our business is to partner with the best sports people in the world. The Springboks, the current rugby world champions, they have been using our products for years. Why? Because they know the quality of the products. And that gives them the edge. In fact, the last 2 World Cups, they won because of a very slight edge that they had over their competitors. Conventions, each region, I think around the month of October, we meet to do recognition and share success in different regions. In East Africa, the meeting was done in Dar es Salaam. This year also is going to be in Dar es Salaam. In Southern Africa is in Pretoria, South Africa, to cover the Southern African countries. In West Africa, we have it in Nigeria. Because of the size of Nigerian business, we have in about 4 to 5 meetings like this. And then we have in Togo, Ghana. What do you need to succeed in the business? Get a form if you're a guest. They will give you an application. Your sponsor will give you an application form, fill it up. Then you need some money to start your business. In Botswana, you need between 720 and 1415 pula. In South Africa, between 910 and 1980. In Kenya, 9,200 or 11,700 shillings. Nigeria, 50,000 or 75,000 naira. In Tanzania, 167,000 or 217,000 Tanzania shillings. In Uganda, 250 or 280,000 Tanzania shillings. In the USA, $75. In Togo, 46,200 or 61,500. In Italy, 64 euros. Ghana, 800 or 1,300 Ghanaian cedis. Cameroon is 60,000 or 74,000 franc CFA or CFA. So we've got different. Not all the countries are covered in this schedule. Just if you're from different countries, get to your sponsor. They'll give you the exact amount for your market. The power of leverage. Leverage is one of the most important secrets of people who are very successful. If I give you $1 million or I give you 1 cent doubled daily for 31 days, which one do you prefer? Most people will choose $1 million. If you double 1 cent daily for 31 days, you get $10.737 million. That's the power of leverage. What do you need to do to success? Remember that success begins with a decision to decide, yes, I want to do this business. And then you need to know what your dream is. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? Second, you need to find out what you need to know and to do. That means you need to be teachable. Let somebody who's been experienced hold your hand and guide you how to be successful in the business. Three, hard work. Hard work is simply talking to people, attending training, and training others to do what you do. It requires discipline, it requires guts, it requires persistence. Then you need to believe in yourself, your sponsor, and the company Neolife. If you have these things going for you, you're going to be successful. What is next for you as a guest? Go to the person who invited you. In fact, Fred said something very important. If you want to take a journey, speak to people who have already taken that journey and have become successful in whatever they're going. Don't listen to people who have never attempted it. That's why Fred said, don't speak to people, speak to the people who are already successful in the business. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for attending this meeting with us. And Fred, thank you for your wonderful story. Good night and God bless.
Good night.